Let's review what we have just learned by practicing. Let's go ahead and delete these position keyframes, and I'm going to go ahead and exit the graph editor view. And actually, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and delete that layer. Let's go ahead and create, with the ellipse tool, let's create a circle. I'm going to draw a circle right here in the middle of the screen. Currently, my fill is set to white. You can change the fill color by clicking on the color swatch right next to the word fill up in the tool panel. If you want for the anchor point to be in the middle of the circle, and for this you should want it, while leaving the mouse button still down from when you first drew the circle, press and hold the space bar and move the mouse until the anchor point is in the middle of the circle. Once you're done, release the mouse button first and then the space bar. I'm going to go ahead and rename this shape layer. I'll rename it ball. Remember, to rename a layer, all you have to do is select the layer's name and then press enter or return and type in the new name, and that's it. To exit that, just click somewhere outside of it, and there you go. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see this a little bit better. In fact, I think I'm just going to make this larger. And there you go. I'll select the ball layer and press the letter P for position. I'll keyframe position and move this down. I'm going to now change my tool to the selection tool. Remember, the shortcut for this is the letter V as in Victor. I'll move this down. I'll move in time and move it up. As I moved it up, I pressed and held the Shift key. Remember, that constrains your motion so that it's only up and down or side to side. I'll make these two keyframes a little bit closer together, and I'm going to select both of them. Now I will copy. To copy the keyframe, the shortcut is Control or Command C. Remember, we paste at the point in time where the CTI is, and to paste is Control or Command V. And I'll paste again, and again, and again. What we have now is a ball that is just going up and down and up and down and up and down. What I would like to do is change the temporal interpolation of this ball so that it looks a little bit more like a bouncing ball. In other words, as it moves up, I want it to decelerate, and as it moves down, I want it to accelerate. I'm going to select all of these keyframes by clicking on the word position. I'll right-click just one of them, and I'll select keyframe interpolation. This opens this panel, which we saw in the previous lesson. And under temporal interpolation, I'm going to select continuous Bezier. Click OK. And notice that all of the keyframes changed icon to now display a little hourglass. Let's go ahead to the graph editor. And this shows us the temporal interpolation in a graph mode, right? So, if it starts down and it goes up, as it goes up, I want it to decelerate. So I'm going to move this keyframe down. And in fact, I need to move every other keyframe down. So I'll select one, press and hold. So I'll select one, press and hold the Shift key. And I'll select these discontiguous ones. And I'll grab the handle of one of them and just drag down. I can select now the ones that are on the top and drag the handle up. What this does is that it lets me accelerate and decelerate all of these keyframes at the same time. Let's play it and see how it works. I think I can make this even more accelerated. So I'll drag this up and I'll move this handle until I get the curve down here. To watch this a little bit better without seeing the motion path, let's do a RAM preview. To do a RAM preview of this, press 0 on your numeric keypad or click on the RAM preview button, which is right here in the preview panel. As you can see, as the ball goes up, it decelerates, and as it comes back down, it accelerates. Let's go ahead and shorten the work area. Place the CTI where you want for the work area to end, and now press the letter N. RAM preview it again, and by default, this should loop. It is important to change the temporal interpolation of our keyframes. Only then we can start creating more realistic animations, because in nature everything has an acceleration and deceleration to changes that occur.